Greetings everyone, Joseph James here from theschooltrade.com, March 12th, 2009. Here's your live trade room recap. Hope you guys did a great week in the room with us. We had a wonderful week, second week of March. I want to remind you guys about three important links. If you're watching this video right now on the YouTube page, guys, head over to the YouTube page. That's youtube.com/schooltrade. Three important links. One's for our free trial. One is for our blog. We just posted a brand new article about speed trading and dollar index trading on the blog. And of course, the third one is for our 12-month track record. So if you guys want to see a copy of our 12-month track record, click on that second link. Right, guys? Very important if you're on the YouTube page. Three total trades today, guys. Pretty choppy, slow, sloppy Friday, guys. We were expecting to see a little bit of this today, being rollover week, being a Friday. We'd already seen relatively slow, low-volume markets all week this week, so we were hoping to see a change for that, but we weren't really holding our breath for it. Of course, Fridays are usually going to end a little bit early, so three trades today. We're over $4,000 in the month of March so far. We got 25.6 in the year of 2010, and as you guys know, we'll keep you guys posted. What's the most important thing that happened today? Well, again, today was a Friday, so we knew today was going to be an early close of the day. So we had to pick our spots wisely, get in early, look for those patterns early, and get out early, of course, because everybody else will be leaving early for a Friday. Now, when we opened up our charts this morning, we noticed the dollar had dropped pretty significantly, right? The dollar had dropped from 80.50 all the way down to 80 even, and it was sitting there on that 80 even level, and then it just went sideways, right? So we had this big drop down, and then it just kind of went sideways there from about 5:30 this morning until about 10 o'clock this morning. And so, of course, everything else got pretty sideways and pretty slow and choppy as well. Right? When the dollar is slow and choppy, everything else will be pretty slow. In fact, we saw some of the slowest times of the year were this week on the dollar index. So it gives you kind of some perspective as far as what we're up against this week. Basically, though, at the 9:30 open, once we got through 9:30, things were still looking pretty slow. Now, I want to talk about momentum this morning because that was pretty much the most important thing we talked about today. Momentum indicator is very simple, but momentum can be difficult to use sometimes because obviously for a long trade, I want to point it up, but I don't want it too overbought because then it can curl and point back down, right? So momentum is important. Let's take a look at momentum on scalping and using the wave indicators today. Now the first one here, this was on gold. This was on obviously our scalping setups. Now in the right side of the screen here, you have your fast time frame. And you're going to notice, guys, on the right side here, you'll notice we're looking for a two-step pattern long. Short-term trend is down. We have the low of day down bottom here at 11.05, right? There's the low of day, 11.055. So what we're looking for here is a bounce off the low back to the upside. We marked up our swing high here, and we looked for a break above that swing high. Okay, simple two-step pattern, long at the low of day. Now, while we're watching this pattern set up here, okay, while we're looking for the break of this swing high at 11.06.5, 11.06.6, follow me down bottom here, you'll see we have an indicator here. Now, for a long trade, I want momentum what? Pointed up. But guys, this was the story not only today, but almost the entire week this week. Things slow down. What do we see? We see momentum overbought. Overbought momentum is likely to curl and point down. And you guys can see this is a great snapshot here because if you follow me to the left here, right, look at this. Look at all these big buyers here, right? This is one of those trades where we saw a ton of big buyers hitting the tape. But if you look below that, still very slow on the speed. The big important factor here, though, is always goes back to momentum. Okay, momentum, we want it pointed up, but not overbought because as you can see, right, that's what we're concerned about. Now, this is a great example today because we were watching this trade develop in a normal environment, right? We have some better speed. We're going to take that trade. As you can see, the trade clearly worked out. The problem was we had to use our rules, and that momentum indicator made it more difficult today for us. So that's one of the reasons why we didn't get into a lot of trades today. That's one of the reasons why we didn't get into a lot of trades this week, because we were seeing momentum overbought, oversold. Now let's switch gears, and now let's go to the wave indicator. Now the wave indicator is real simple. Let's follow me up top, the upper left-hand corner here, guys. Wave indicator fires off right here, 728, 730 here on the crude. It then jumps up. We're then going to wait for it to pull back and now test this rising trigger line here. Okay, that's the entry. Right? So the entry is when we touch that trigger line for a long trade. Now I check my rules. My rules confirm I'm above the trigger line on my medium time frame, so that looks good. I look down bottom here at the pace of a tape. I had great speed as well. But the real story here was in momentum. all the way lower right-hand corner here. Notice, guys, momentum was oversold here, right? Oversold. This oversold momentum right there, see how it's below that 20 level on momentum? Oversold momentum, and then what happens? It curls up from the bottom. Now this, guys, is the most important thing, right? Curls up from the bottom. Not curling up from the high, right? Or up from the top. Curled up from the bottom. So momentum is oversold, curls up from the bottom, right? The perfect situation for a long entry. Okay, so we see momentum confirmed on the fast time frame, and then of course back up here on my slower time frame. That means I can go long here, right, at the 82.78 level where it tested my trigger line, and as you can see, nice big winner to the upside. All right, guys, big congratulations to all the members this week making money in the wave indicator. And here's a great example, guys. Remember, that momentum indicator for a wave long, I want to see it curling up from the bottom, right? Wait for that momentum indicator to be all the way oversold and then start coming back up. All right, guys. Now we took 3 trades on our scalping system. Here's 3 of those trades for you guys here. The first trade here on crude at 940. Right, 940 here on crude. Short-term trend up. You can tell the trend by looking at the slope of that trigger line. We then, of course, have overhead resistance here, 82.70. Didn't see anything go through that high, so we're looking for, of course, the 2-step short. Break below that swing low at 940 here on the crude. 53 was the fill. But, guys, just like we had saw in that first example on gold, once again, momentum curled against me. Slow volume from 53s. I, of course, flattened my position for a scratch trade. Now, as you can see, what happened, though, was, right, we made the right decision because it quickly came back up there and would have stopped me out. But you can see, guys, right, the pattern wanted to go down, right? The pattern was there. The move was there. We just didn't have enough oomph, right? We didn't have enough resistance there coming back off those highs. Again, in an environment where we'll have more speed, that will be a different story. But today was, of course, like we said, a little bit slower than normal. Now on gold, the last 2 trades of the morning were on gold. This was a nice small winner here to get us back in the green here. Right, 1038 this morning, back-to-back trades here. First trade, of course, was a breaker pattern long. Short-term trend here is up. We, of course, break above this 1108.4. We mark up our swing high. We break above that swing high, and there's your breaker pattern long at 1038. 1109.8. We got our +4. Moved our stop to entry +1 at our first target to lock out all the risk, lock in that profit, and we take, of course, that stop at +4, +1, or 10 ticks. So you can see what happened here was on this first trade, it got, once again, and this is, guys, this is a very common situation. Once we get into a trade in low volume, we see this choppy reaction, right? We don't see that jump, right? We see, of course, we got our +4 filled, move our stop up to entry, but then we get taken out as this thing chops around here. Another byproduct there of a low volume environment. So of course we come up, we test these highs here at 1110.5, 1110.7. As you can see, we didn't see anything up top here, right? Nothing up above there. Mark up our swing low, and now we look for a 2-step pattern short reversal here at 1042. Now once again, we saw a very slow, choppy market this morning. You can tell here by looking at the price action, what happened was once we got into a trade, momentum curled. Now, if you follow momentum all the way down here, guys, you can see momentum very choppy, oversold there. So we're looking for momentum to point down, but at the same time, like I said earlier, right, what does the perfect momentum look like? The perfect momentum would have come up to the top here and then curled over. Okay, it would have come up top and then curled over, right? Not being oversold like this. So, you know, we're trying to do the best we can with a very difficult market this morning. We, of course, took a 2-step here at 1042, 1109.7. Momentum curled against me. I flattened my position as soon as possible here, but it caught me for a -1 on my stop. So times it by 4 contracts, and there's your -4 or -$40. All right, guys, so total them all up, guys. Nothing in the first trade, 10 ticks in the second trade, gave back 6 of those ticks on the third trade, and you guys can see that's where we end up with 6 ticks or 60 USD. All right, guys, finished up a great week in the room. Challenging Friday, but you know what, guys? That's how sometimes we get to trade Fridays. Monday, March 15th, guys, busy morning, 8:30 Empire Manufacturing Survey, 9 o'clock long-term tick flows, 9:15 industrial production, 9:30 U.S. Open. All happens before the open. And as always, guys, we're coming back to you on Monday morning, 7:45 Eastern Time. Want to be here for that on Monday morning. We'll do webinars next week on Tuesday and Thursday, so be here for that. If you want more information about our setups, our rules, our entries, grab a copy of the beginner's course. And as always, if you want more information about lifetime membership, it's sales@schooloftrade.com. My name is Russell James. Hope the video helps. We'll see you guys Monday. Bye-bye for now.